Hey guys, and welcome back to I Like Watches. Today I'm going to be reviewing, finally, my Accurist Retro Racer. I bought this watch about a year ago. I've unboxed it, and ever since then I've spoken very highly of this watch. Every opportunity I've got, I've said I think it's one of the best value for money watches you can buy on the high street. I think it's Accurist's best watch, period. It featured in my top 5 chronographs video. I think it's a cracking watch, and I think it's high time I reviewed it and tried to explain to you why I think it's so good. So in this video, I'll run through all the facts, figures, stats and specifications, the green thumbs up, the red thumbs down. I will definitely be putting this on some alternative straps, showing you some lovely macro shots, and you never know, you might be tempted to head over to a website that I've put a link in the video description for to check out this watch. No affiliate links, no discount codes, no includes paid promotion icon because I paid full price for this watch. Right guys, enjoy this review. Quick apology before I crack on with the facts, figures, stats and specifications. I'm still wearing gloves because I still don't seem to be able to tell the difference between a 4x2 and my thumbs. So I'm afraid I'm going to be wearing my gloves for this bit, but hopefully it won't detract from this beautiful, beautiful watch. Now, I bought the watch with a silver sunburst dial that comes on this stainless steel bracelet or Milanese strap. There are a couple of other options. You've got this same strap with a blue dial, and then you've got a watch that comes on a leather strap that has a black dial. For me, this is the pick of the bunch. So that splash of orange with that silver sunburst dial. I fell in love with it the moment I saw it. Unquestionably, for me anyway, the pick of the bunch. Now, the retail price for this watch is £130. That equates to roughly €154, $173. However, you should be able to pick this up in the sales, if you're lucky, for around £100. Now, Francis and Gaye are selling the watch on a leather strap with a black dial for £100, and I've emailed them to find out if they can source this particular variation, and if so, how much it's going to cost. Now, they haven't come back to me at this moment in time, but if they do, I'll let you know the answer to that question in the video description, and of course I'll put links as well. The movement inside this watch is the Miyota OS21 Quartz Chronograph. At the 3 o'clock you've got a 24-hour subdial, and at the 9 o'clock you've got the minutes for the chronograph, and of course the seconds for the chronograph is on the main dial. Standard operation: start, stop and reset, and of course you've got the date at the 6 o'clock. Right, before we move on, let's get you some case dimensions. Diameter is bang on 40 millimeters. Thickness is nice, 10.9. Lug width is 20 millimeters. Case length is 46.5. And there is some taper on this bracelet as well, just under 18 millimeters. Confirmation then that we're dealing with mineral crystal, no AR coating. It is a flat piece of mineral crystal. And the total weight on this bracelet is 112 grams. Now, I think the case on this watch is one of its strongest features. Not only does it look awesome, but the finishing is actually pretty good. The polished surfaces are good. They're not amazing, but they are good. The brushing, I've got to say, is very good. And the transitions between the two types of finishing is excellent. I'm really, really pleased with it. Love the case shape, sort of circular square case, circular bezel. It's just a cool watch. Splash of orange as well, so of course I'm going to love it. I just love this case. Fairly stubby, fairly slim, incredible wearability and versatility. I tend to wear this on a black rally strap or an orange silicone strap by Vario. I don't tend to wear it on this particular bracelet, and I'll come on to that in a minute. But just this case, I mean, it's all about the case and the dial for me. It's awesome. The watch comes with 50 meters of water resistance. The crown is a pull-push crown. It's signed with the Accurist A, and then you've got a screw-down case back with some specifications. It's fairly nicely done, and of course you've got the pushes at the 2 and the 4. So 50 meters of water resistance. You can submerge it in water, but not for too long, and it should be okay. But don't press any pushes when it's submerged. Not only do I love the case shape, but I love everything that's going on with this dial. The sub-dials, the hands, that splash of colour, that black outer circle with the sunburst silver dial. It just looks awesome, doesn't it? You've got that tachymeter running around the outside of the dial. Of course, that is designed to show you how many times you can do something in an hour. And I'll be the first to admit it's not the most functional watch, you know, without there being a running seconds hand. It's sort of missing something, isn't, you know, nothing's moving on the dial, but in terms of its appearance and its proportions, I just love it. Now, as you'd expect, I've sort of summarised the things that I like the most first, and now I'm going to move on to this Milanese bracelet. It's actually not terrible. It's probably not even bad. It's just not great. It's quite thick, which means the tail can... you can feel it on your wrist, so it's not the most comfortable strap. The buckle is actually okay. It's signed. You've got the safety latch. It's fairly standard, but the bracelet around the spring bars is a little bit wobbly. You know, they don't fit particularly well. So yeah, I wouldn't really buy this watch to wear it on this particular bracelet. If you're going to buy this, I would strongly recommend popping on something else. But you're spoilt for choice. It really is so versatile. You could wear this on almost anything, as long as it's, you know, suitable for 20mm lugs, of course. Right, let's quickly summarise the green thumbs up and the red thumbs down. So green thumbs up, it looks awesome, looks amazing. The case and the dial build quality is good. The bracelet's okay, but the build quality of the case and the dial is actually really, really good. It's incredibly versatile and wearable. It's a fairly short case. Spring bar to spring bar length is very good. It's fairly slim as well. Loads and loads of options in terms of what you could wear this on instead of this strap. So yeah, incredibly versatile, and it just looks awesome on the wrist. The alignment's pretty good, isn't it? I'm really, really pleased with that. Let's start this stopwatch and check that second hand going around the dial. Yeah, so I'm pleased with the alignment. On the whole, it's pretty good, isn't it? Yeah, that's one of my main grumbles when it comes to quartz watches, is the seconds hands don't tend to hit the markers. But on this watch, look at that, bang. Lovely. Colour options as well. The three colour options are all actually very nice. This for me though, undoubtedly my favourite. I think it's just that silver dial with a splash of orange. I think it looks awesome. And the price, it's got to be a green thumbs up, hasn't it? £130 retail price, but in the sale somewhere you should be able to pick it up for around £100. I think that's pretty good. Yes, there's a Miyota movement inside. It's quartz, and there'll be a few people grumbling about that, but it's a £15 quartz movement. It's not your super cheap, you know, budget quartz movement. And as I've already shown, you know, stuff does line up nicely. So for me, it's not a deterrent at all. A fantastic pick up and go piece. Yeah, I am thrilled with it. But of course, it's not without its faults. The loom, unfortunately, isn't great. I did pit it against some other watches I've received recently, and it was amongst the worst, if not the worst performer, unfortunately. So yeah, if you love your loom displays, it's probably not one for you. The bracelet, I've already mentioned it. It's okay, not the most comfortable, but you know, it's not a bad bracelet. And no running seconds hand. I think that's what this watch is missing. Yeah, I'd love for one of those sub dials to be a running seconds hand, for just something to be happening on this dial when you look at it. It is missing some action. So I know I've been speaking highly of this watch ever since I've unboxed it. I do recognise that the red thumbs down aren't minor. The loom is really poor. The bracelet isn't fantastic. And yeah, there is a lack of something going on this dial. And of course, some people will say, well, it's quartz as well, so that's a red thumbs down. But for me, how it looks overrides those red thumbs down. I just love the way this thing looks. I think I'm blinded by its beauty, but of course I do tend to wear it on a different strap. Okay, the loom's not great, but I don't wear watches through the night, and I don't tend to use the loom through the night anyway. And I don't tend to look at this watch on my wrist and think, well, there's nothing moving. I'm just so transfixed by how it looks, and on those alternative straps, it does look particularly cool. So yeah, on this occasion, of course, I'm going to say I do recommend it. I really enjoy wearing this watch. It's been a really pleasant surprise. So nice to find watches on the high street still that feel like good value for money and that just look incredible. You know, far too often we associate AliExpress watches or micro brand watches with value for money, but I do think on this occasion, if you can pick this watch up for around £100, it does represent good value for money. But please guys, let me know what you think of this watch in the comments section. Am I blinded by that stunning face, or am I speaking a bit of sense? Do let me know in the comments section. I love to read your comments, and I know they're useful for other people considering buying these watches. So thank you so much for commenting, guys. Thank you so much for watching as well. Take care, look after yourselves, and you'll see me again very, very soon.